The open mind is a heartbeat to evolution. With that being said, please keep an open mind as you watch this video. You will be introduced to 5 individuals of different sexual orientation and gender identities. Whether you yourself are questioning your sexual orientation, or you know someone who may be, I hope that this video allows you to step out of your comfort zone and become a heartbeat to evolution.
I guess there's that whole idea of being normal, like you have to have a wife and have kids. Like I came from a very traditional European family and it was always, you can't wait for the big wedding and the grandchildren and all that. And that was the normal life to lead. And I remember saying that in my head I wouldn't be living that life. I knew that that wasn't for me, and I knew that I wouldn't, I guess, be going down that path. And I guess that was just the definition of normal, and I knew I wasn't going to be part of it.
I first knew that my sexuality was not the same as everyone else's when I was in kindergarten. So let's say I was 5 years old and I had a crush on a girl. Now I didn't know it was a crush, I just knew that my face went about the color of this shirt every time I saw her on the playground. When I was about 12 years old, lying in bed at night and whispering to myself, I'm a lesbian. And that was kind of like the first time I, kind of admitted it to myself. And it was many, many years before I admitted it to anyone else.
It's under one umbrella, transgender. I'm actually a transsexual. I'm actually wanting to go through the whole process, have the operation. A transgender just lives and does not want to actually have the operations done. For me, transgender means I was born biologically a girl, but growing up I always knew that something wasn't right, that I was different. And when I think it was the earliest was kindergarten, grade 1, when I noticed why didn't the other little boys have long hair like mine. I realized then I hated wearing dresses. I would throw tantrums as a kid when my mom forced me into them, and I was afraid of my family's reaction, so I kept it hidden for quite a long time.
Was probably about 2 or 3 years old, but of course you don't really know. There's no information around 50 years ago on this type of thing. In 1 week, Nova and Vista, they both had programs on transsexuals. And that's when I knew. It was as if somebody had thrown a bucket of cold water in my face. It was, holy shit. I'm okay, I'm real, I'm not crazy in my head. I just always knew there was something different about me, but I didn't know how to be the different me.
I mean, it wasn't anything that I was ever going to tell anyone. It was just, I tried to be straight. In high school, I had boyfriends. From the time I was, 13, 14, all the way up until I was about 17 or 18. I just, tried to be like my friends. I dated boys and I kissed them and I didn't like it. But, the whole time having crushes on my female friends and wanting to be with girls and not really knowing how to accept that, how to kind of make that happen, I guess. I grew up Catholic, Roman Catholic. I went to church every Sunday. My mom, strict Catholic upbringing. We even, said the rosary at home after dinner, as a family, and so, I went to Catholic school, elementary school and high school, and, homosexuality wasn't spoken about. I mean, it didn't exist, as far as the Catholic school system was concerned, at least at that point, homosexuality didn't even exist. I didn't feel like I had any sort of support system, like with teachers, with family, with friends. It was always a negative thing. If someone was gay, it was negative. And so, I didn't want to acknowledge it.
You're grade 8, grade 9, the internet just started coming out and you could explore different avenues on the internet. And I think the first thing I ever did was I went on, someone told me that you can go online and find people having sex. I'm like, no, people don't do that on the internet. So I went on, not knowing how to use the internet, and I wrote www.sex.com. And it popped up to this website. I'm like, like there really is stuff. And then as you scroll down, there was two options. Do you want to go to see women or do you want to see men? And I found myself clicking on the men's side. So one day I was looking through the cover for some food. It was probably about grade 8, grade 7. And I remember shuffling through it and stepping back and saying, I wonder what it'd be like to be normal. And then I just shrugged my shoulders. I'm like, whatever, it'll figure itself out. Then still in high school, I had the girlfriend, and it wasn't until my first year at university that I really accepted it and was ready to kind of pursue it.
I don't know if I was afraid, like, it wasn't even an option. It wasn't like, oh, like, I felt this pressure to come out and didn't want to. It was like, what was I going to say? Who was I going to tell? And it was hard for me to even admit it to myself at that point. I was still trying to be straight and to ignore the fact that I was attracted to females. It wasn't until I was probably in grade 12 or OAC that I really started to think about it in terms of, oh, okay, well, other people know. My friends made jokes about me being gay, and I think it was kind of obvious to everyone, but it wasn't something that we ever talked about.